I played Mathil's Tornado of Turbulence to see if it's bait or great. In this run I found pretty interesting items. But there were moments of hesitation as well. Yeah, maybe a little too many. As usual, we'll rate this build based on campaign, mapping progression and late game section, with importance of each section increasing. Today we'll answer the question, will this build beat Jungron's Archmage Detonate Dead? I guarantee you, those ratings will surprise you. So let's find out. As usual, I started with Rolling Magma until Act 4. Up to this point, there was nothing that I could be salty about. I gather few Chaos Orbs along the way, so I could buy Tornado of Turbulence right after killing Dominus. I've picked Righteous Providence as my first lab, so damage was also really good. As we all know, defenses besides life and cap resistances are not that crucial in the campaign, so I was smooth sailing up until around Act 9. Lack of any defensive aura in the leveling setup made it a little bit tight at the end. -1 point. So the campaign rating is 9 out of 10. Reach maps relatively quickly. It was rough at first. Defensive problems didn't disappear, they got worse. Of course, I've ascended into Pious Path in the campaign, but it was still too little to feel comfortable. But you may ask, why though? And this is crucial. Quality up your Tornado as fast as possible. My zoomy playstyle was quickly verified just by the fact that Tornado was slower than me. First drawback of mapping section. It was really unplayable until then. -1.5 points. On the brighter side, damage was okay. But, look at this. Yup, this is my endgame weapon for just 10C. Insane. Unfortunately, I wasn't even close to melting bosses. Just look at those quest versions of them. I won't subtract any points for this, but as you know, mapping section doesn't end on Eater and Exarch, right? Farming bosses with destructive play was really dangerous. Smashed keyboard few times in the process. I felt like I should stick to my really low budget gear. And that only led to more frustration and weird decisions. That's on me. But, in my defense, let's compare mapping defensive layers of this build to Archmage Detonate Dead. Here we have life plus block, and a little bit more EHP on the other side. We have life, energy shield, mana thanks to mind over matter, even more block. And grace. Sounds kinda silly, right? I shall subtract another points. This time as many as another 3.7 points. Eventually I farmed enough maps to kill Shaper. It went smooth. And Elder, little less smooth, but also manageable. For this crucial Uber Elder fight I even bought 6 Link to ensure my victory. Little did I know, I wasn't lacking damage. A fart could kill me. To succeed I need more upgrades, but I cannot put some items in the mapping progression. This is where we end mapping section. We must end it with final score equal to 4.8 points. I assure you, now fortunately it was getting better. I did few upgrades to obtain 3rd and 4th Voidstone. I still didn't want to make endgame purchases. Think of this iteration as something in the middle. You'll find my exact character in the pop from description. With those upgrades, it was finally comfortable to play and kill those bosses. I think Chris saw that I was struggling and gave me this watcher after my Voidstone Uber Elder kill. It's fucking insane. Thanks to this drop, I can deliver this video before Path of Exile 2. It funded both mapping and bossing versions of this build, and I was finally blasting. Of course, it's not a mapping build in patch 3.25 without Spalin. Overall, I invested in tankiness. Still, it wasn't a mortal build, but just look at this. It's really cozy playstyle. I know, not very fast. I'm aware of this, but after about 20 hours of gameplay on this character, it wasn't that painful. I just got used to it. Nevertheless, if you'd want to play zoomy build, I would strongly advise you against this idea. In the meantime, I did some final touches to this mapping version of Mathil's Tornado like catalysting, anointing and so on. To squeeze most out of this build I bought ton of gem cutters and glass blowers. Time to test it in the real maps, right? This Strand Deli strategy is really chill, and besides that, it's perfect for testing our mapping builds. It's getting hard really fast, so it's pretty easy to determine ceiling of build. And just look at this. This build chokes at 6 reward tiles. Is that bad or good? I don't know. I felt like I should be able to do more with this build. You clearly see when mobs attacks bypass our block. We don't have reliable source of other mitigation. Damage? It's okay-ish. Rough 6.5 out of 10 points for mapping part. Most interesting part is still ahead of us. I really appreciate the idea of having 2 separate pops. one for mapping and the other for bossing. My gear didn't change much, but let me take you for standard recombination journey. After many ups and downs, I just decided to gamble because it's my ninja way. And it paid off. Gamble kids. Just kidding. Almost broke my item with Veiled Orb. Did you know that Veiled Orb does not respect, cannot roll caster mods? Jun gave me this chance and I unveiled lower spell damage. To match staff from Palm, I decided to enchant it in Kingsmarsh. I think they don't like me there. Little bit cringe, but that's enough. Besides staff, there was not very much to change. Of course, I'll add my pops for each of those versions in my description. So let's start bossing, shall we? Started with Shaper. Damage insanely high for an all-rounder build. I could tank one ball, but that's all. Stressful, but easy fight. Let's not change theme and jump straight to Uber Elder. Just look at this, I was melting them. And they were melting me too. I personally couldn't kill them in my first run, skill issue, but if you run in circles, it shouldn't be that hard. Cortex, Uber cringe, died 3 times during pathing to the boss. Outraged, I had to show who's in charge there. Bosses were obliterated so fast they need to fight in group of 3. But in the end, I was the one sat down by Uber white mobs, essentially Path of Exile 2 gameplay demo. Cyrus, my hopes weren't high because I knew how bad this build defensively is. And yay, died. I still don't know how people are trying to fight this boss with mediocre defenses. If I can't face tank his die beam, I can't kill him either. Next, Eater, easiest Uber of them all. With this damage it wasn't a challenge at all. Lol, not even Nimmies. Exarch, pretty well known that it's my worst boss. I was staggered each hit and couldn't move. It was pure pain, not a fight. At the very end, Maven, those damn fragments cost more than 1 div each. Unfortunately, I knew the result before this fight even started. Yay, not even close. Even though I couldn't manage to kill many Ubers with this, I still feel like bossing version of Mathil Tornado of Turbulence is pretty strong. Maybe you'll have better time. Bossing rating 7 out of 10 points. But for endgame I have a bonus, to encourage everyone to approach of dual PoE builds. Mapping and bossing version. I'll add 1.5 points in this section. And that's 8.25 points total. Summing up all 3 parts of this journey, final result is 7.57 points. Jungrown still thrives. And Mathil couldn't take the throne. And right now, tell me what build should I test out at the beginning of Path of Exile 2. I hope you're as hyped as I am. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in future videos.